IdeaForge, that's the one which is catching all the attention this morning. What a bumper listing it has been. So let me welcome on board Ankit Mehta, Founder and Chief Executive Officer, as well as Vipul Joshi, the CFO of IdeaForge, joining in on the show right now. Gentlemen, great to have you both on the show. Congratulations on a stellar debut. Ankit, if I could start with you first. Now that the listing is behind you and the response has been stellar, could you spell out how the growth strategies will play out for the next 3 to 4 years? What levers do you have in place?
So what we're planning to do is essentially make sure that we iterate onto our portfolio significantly strongly over the next few years and open up a couple of additional categories of products that will allow us to create an opportunity where we are overall able to address a larger market size and also open up a lot more use cases. So that is on the product side that we are going to continue to iterate on and develop. And then in terms of markets, we are looking to go to international markets. We are looking to make sure that we can create a presence in the North American market as we are invested in that market today. And we are going to continue to track opportunities globally for wherever our products are useful and utilizable for various use cases around surveillance, mapping, and other applications.
So getting orders seems to be lumpy from the government segment. How is the order book looking? Which segments are you seeing the maximum amount of demand, Vipul?
So right now, for a March closing, we had the order book about 192 crores. And subsequently, also, we are seeing that the traction on the defense side would still continue because there is a continued demand that side. And there are large programs that are there out there from the government, which is under process and subsequently going to conclude in the coming quarters, etc. While there's a significant push from our side to emphasize on the civil side of things as well. And we're hoping that those adoption as well is increased. As Ankit also pointed out, that our international presence, where also our focus would be to first penetrate to the civil market, will also help and push on the order book for the civil side.
Ankit, has the bidding competition become very heavy now from entry of newer players and startups in the drone space? And what kind of bidding orders are in the pipeline? Can you quantify that?
Right now, we had bid for a few opportunities in the cycle of emergency procurement that was started in the previous year. So that is something that is going to come to conclusion in the next short period of time. And then apart from that, in terms of competition, there is always competition in this field. We always see a lot of participation from potential players in this opportunity. However, typically the demand the customers have is quite challenging, particularly when you look at high altitude areas, when you look at operating in extreme environmental conditions. Therefore, we do see that it is still going to take some time for many players to be able to meet those requirements and expectations, particularly in areas we compete in. But there are, of course, a lot of other segments which are also growing and scaling in this industry. So we are hoping that overall the industry will grow quite well in the next period itself.
Right. Vipul, in terms of margins, they fell from 47% to about 31% in FY23, right? What kind of margin range can one expect going forward? And could you also spell out what factors affect the margins for your products?
So if we look at the last year's financial, the major impact, especially on our EBITDA, was due to the impact of the ESOPs that had hit us in the last year. There's a subsequent number which would around 26 to 27 crores, where we don't envisage that this subsequently large numbers would continue in the subsequent years. And we continue our projections in terms of maintaining healthy margins. Historically, like how you would have seen in our books, we have had margins hovering around 60 to 70%.
He's a market leader in the Indian unmanned aircraft system with market share of approximately 50%. What kind of growth levers and risk are involved in this industry, Ankit?
See, I think overall, it is a foregone conclusion that defense will induct drones in very large quantities and in many categories. And that is something that we are seeing playing out in the ground very, very aggressively. In terms of the opportunity side on the civil side, again, there is a huge explosion of opportunity on the agriculture side, explosion of opportunity on the mapping side, where large scale mapping is happening in a big way. And then there are also opportunities coming up in law enforcement and other areas where we are continuously seeing a demand and growth of the opportunity. So from that standpoint, it is going to continue the traction that is envisaged. Even in our industry report, we had mentioned that the industry is going to scale quite rapidly because the base at which we started has been fairly low in the country. I mean, just last year, the base was under $50 million, as was indicated in the report as well.